Hello, people. I really want to talk about PlayStation, Sony PlayStation in general. Um, yeah, I've been hearing a lot of stuff about them, on YouTube lately. Um, it's not good. It's not good at all. You know. Now I can say for myself now, PlayStation itself is a corrupt company now. It's corrupt. Like, I ended my subscription and everything else. Like, they're not getting any money out of me no more because I'm done. I'm done giving them money and everything else. Because I'm sick of how the company has become woke and everything else in between. Sorry about that. Um, and yeah, like I'm not buying any of their brands no more and everything else. Like I'm just basically I'm sick of it now. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all the corrupt things they're doing now. Like I heard the stories about Hell's Divers, Hell's Divers 2. Um that's just sad in general. Like I wanted to play the game. Like um now I don't want to touch it because I heard things about it and I don't really want to get into all that. But yeah, I don't really want nothing to do with Hell's Divers anyway. But it's sad just to hear what's happening to that game now in general. Like, yeah, like it's just sad, and especially the PC players too. Like, um, yeah, you know, it's just sad. Um, the thing is, right, I ended my subscription because my friend McFarlane said, no, like it's getting way too expensive to pay for these subscriptions and everything else. Like, I was paying like I don't know how much it was before, but I think it was more cheaper than that. But um, I think this the subscription money fee has went up. I was paying monthly, not like like the $100 ones and everything else. I'm gonna have a drink of tea. um, yeah, like I just stopped paying it because I just felt like I'd been ripped off, and not just that, all that too. Like, the, if you were, like with a subscription, it has like these free levels, and Sony's like saying they're going to promise to release like old games from the PS2 era and the PS3 era, and especially from the PS1 era. They haven't even released basically anything for it, and that's why I stopped paying for it. Like I just had enough. I had enough of paying for this stupid dumb subscription. I felt like I've been ripped off. And not just that too, like they got a lot of PlayStation 3 games in their in their vault, where they can actually release like, just digitally on, online, on from the PlayStation store. They can release all their good old classic games easy if they wanted to, but you have to play these old games, what they are releasing with the subscription. You have to play for, if you want to play with them, you have to pay for the subscription. But I know you can actually buy them digitally. That's the thing is, digitally, when you own them digitally, they're not really yours in the first place. It's still owned by PlayStation's. No, I don't really understand. Like, it's owned by PlayStation's servers, and you don't basically practically own it. You paid for it, but you don't really basically practically own it. And yeah, like I'm done paying like for digital shit. I'm done. I'm done with all that stuff. Like I'm not paying like any digital stuff, on PlayStation, because like people like gaming YouTube channels and like being basically opening my eyes all to all this shit. Like when you download it digitally, like and pay for it digitally and everything else, you don't really legally own it. Like, and that's really corrupt, I should say. Like what PlayStation has done, like how they do all that, how that works out and everything else. It doesn't make sense. Like, what if one day down the line that game is not usable no more? Like, are you still going to get your money back from it? And what I heard, you can't. Like, same thing what happened to Funimation when people lost all their shit. I never brought anything from Funimation. I haven't. Never brought any digital animes, copies from there, like digital movies or media from there. I only watch anime, that's it. Dragon Ball, Naruto, all them kinds of, shows and movies and stuff like that. I never knew you can actually buy, from Funimation. I never knew you can actually buy digital movies from there. Like, that's the first time I ever heard that from a YouTuber ages ago, what I learnt when Funimation got shut down, more or less. And people just practically lost all their money and everything else. Like, that, that's the thing is, they should refund them too, with all their money. Like, because it is their money. They gave you money and everything else, and you just shut down, and they practically lost everything what they brought from you guys, and you're not going to give their money back when your brand has shut down. That's just bullshit. But that's the thing about me, I like buying physical copies, and that's more convenient, and more convenient to buy, physical copies of anime movies and stuff like that, anime shows and stuff like that. Like, I normally buy physical media always, all the time. The only, I think the only time I brought physical, digital media is when Godzilla King of the Monsters came out. It came out earlier, like on digital, and DVD and Blu-ray and Ultra HD came a bit later down the line. Yeah, like I got it, well, basically and practically, I actually got it in a two-pack, like the 2014 movie and the King of the Monsters movie. But the thing is about that, I don't own them too. They're not legally mine. But the thing is, it's always a silver lining. Basically and practically, I actually do own the physical copies to them. They're mine and they're legally mine only. That's the only thing they can't take away from you. When you buy something with your own money and you buy it physically, that's you know, convenient. And like what PlayStation is doing is basically and practically wrong. And I heard what's going on with Hell's Divers, and I feel sorry for all the players in Hell's Divers. Like I did want to actually buy the game, but I don't really want to buy it because I've been hearing a lot of weird stories about it and everything else. Like I just don't want to touch that game. Um, yeah, like I feel sorry for people, like the people who are playing Hell's Divers and everything else. Like especially the people on PC. Um, yeah, like I've been a big fan of PlayStation mostly my whole life. Since I was a kid, I still have my first PlayStation console in my room. Um, the good old grey girl. Um, yeah, like, and I'm practically starting to buy physical media for that too, because I'm practically done with the digital shit and the subscription. Practically, the first physical game I actually brought from there, um, on eBay, I brought Jurassic Park Lost World. It's kind of like a Mario game, but you're playing as a dinosaur, jumping around, eating, and everything else. Um, yeah, good old PS1 games. Yeah, I'm starting to get into that, collecting old video games and everything else, PS2 games and everything else. And I got like one of my favorite games, like back in PS2 era, guns and all that stuff, and just been buying a lot of physical media from, excuse me, from the old era times. And yeah, it's just like it's really sad, like to see how what is Sony becoming, Sony PlayStation is becoming. I've been a big Sony fan for a long time since I was a kid. Like I used to had a Sony Walkman back in the days. I used to play cassette tapes, like, and I used to play Michael Jackson Invisible all the time. That was my first album I ever brought from Michael Jackson from a cassette tape, and I used to play that around with my Sony Walkman. And I was a big Sony tech fan. I used to have like a Sony television, a black Sony television. It was only small, but it was a coloured one too. Mm, it was good. It was only a small little one, but I used to play all my PlayStation 2s, my 1s, and when PlayStation 3 came around the corner, I did play it on there too, but the screen, like, like they came out with this new cord, the HDMI cord, and when I got my first flat screen television with HD built into it, it blew my mind. Like how clear it is and everything else. How HD is pretty clear, and especially how Ultra HD is pretty clear too, with 4K and everything else, and HDMI. Oh, well, sorry, HD. Oh, I can't even say it no more. I'm talking in stutter gibberish. Um, yeah, like they were the good old days of PlayStation. You know, PlayStation, and it's just not just that too. PlayStation back in them days, when they create their games, they were creating great games. They were creating work of art. Like especially, I never played. Sorry, I never played all the other God of War. Um, you know, all the other God of War games. Like yeah, like I heard a lot of people said they were all good, and practically, I really want to buy the old God of War games from the PS2 era, and I heard a lot of people say they were very good. And I practically, I do have a God of War game in my collection. I think I got God of War 1 or 2. Um, Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Let me slow the plane down. Let me have a look. Yep, I got God of War 2. Yeah, I got God of War 2, but I haven't really played it yet. Um, I've been busy playing other games, being busy and everything else with my life. Um, Back in them days, man, PlayStation were making great games. Like they were making great games, and the companies too. They were pedigrees, of their time, like Naughty Dog and Naughty Dog, um, Insomniac, Guerrilla Games, and everything else. Them game brands, man. They were the bee's knees back then. Back then, they were making great games. You know, like playing Killzone for the very first time on PS2. That was great. Playing the first Resistance game on PS3. That was great. The Resistance Falling Man, and playing the whole complete trilogy of that. Um, Especially Uncharted on the PS3, and especially the PS4 version of that one, Uncharted 4, like the Uncharted trilogy and the PS4, like especially Killzone with PS3, and I think the PS3 Killzones were the great ones, and especially the one in PS2. Um, them games are just great. Like the games back in the days, what Sony was making with these, with their, brand, their gaming brands, people in the game developing companies like Naughty Dog and Insomniac, Guerrilla Games, and all sorts of them. They were making great games, great stories, and everything else. And now I don't really want to buy games from Sony no more. I haven't even bought a game in ages, for a long time. I haven't even paid for the God of War Ragnarok game, and I know that I know too well about that game and how politically woke it is and everything else, and who's actually was involved in the making of it. It was Sweet Baby Inc. and everything else who was actually involved in that. But back in them days, I didn't even knew anything about it. But what I got told during the time it was getting made, there were race swapping characters and everything else, like you know, going against the actual lore of the story of Norse mythology, Viking mythology, and everything else, like going against that, like more or less, you know, yeah, like being racist, you know, race swapping characters and everything else, like it just sucks. And I was, urging to actually buy it. I was urging to actually buy it. I was about to buy it. About like, I think, I don't know, what year that came out. That game is, I don't know. But down the line, I found out God of War Ragnarok was actually made by these um, activist woke brand called Sweet Baby Inc. And that's what made me, and not just that thing, rephrase all that back, like take it back. When I start hearing about them and what they are as a company, and I said, "Oh shit, oh nah, I don't want to buy God of War Ragnarok no more." Because if they were involved in that and it came up on their website, they were involved in it. Yeah, they were, especially with Spider-Man 2. I didn't brought that too because to me, I seen the whole game on YouTube, and the story itself was all over the place. Um, Mary Jane looks. Um, my mum brought me up with manners and class and everything else. Mary Jane was. Oh, I don't care. Ugly. Um, and I practically know half the reason why they chose her to look like that. They didn't really copy from the actual model itself. That's pretty offensive. Like, you know, a model got paid to actually do Mary Jane, and you basically done a 380 and didn't done the actual modeling design of the real Mary Jane, like from the actual model itself. Yeah, like, and they're like, if you see the model of Mary Jane, right? I wish I had the technology actually to show you all this stuff. If you actually see the actual model of Mary Jane in the game, and you put the one what they choose, like, you know, the game Mary Jane, the game version of Mary Jane, and the model version of Mary Jane, they look totally different. Mary Jane looks like a dude, more or less. Yeah, Mary Jane looks like a dude. And I did play Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man from Insomniac, and it was a good game. It was, and I stopped playing it because, like, I stopped playing it. It's because of all that woke stuff in it too. Like, I feel like deleting all the videos off it now too in the future because I just don't want that up there. And I'm thinking of even selling my Marvel Spider-Man game on eBay, or probably, or trade it in for another new game or whatever. Because I'm actually trading in Horizon Zero Dawn and everything else like that. Now that's a woke game now. Because, and if I can, you know, put it this way, right? When I first played that game, right, when it first came out, on, I think it came out on, I think it came out on the PS4. Yeah, it did came out on the PS4. And when I played it on the PS4, and I finished it and everything else, and down the line, right, this was during the time when I stopped playing it because I played, I probably played it 2 times, and I finished it again and again. And when the second one was coming out, I stopped playing it for that long. When the second one came out, I was a bit excited for the second one, and I didn't knew anything. I didn't knew it had all that woke stuff in it, but it does. When they came out with that DLC for the Horizon 2 game, but just ignore that part of the story. When that came out, that when that was about to come out, and everything else, I noticed something about the first game. Aloy didn't look like Aloy what I'd known before in the first game, because I think what they did to her in the first game, I think they actually changed her appearance in the first game. I don't think. I know they did because um, it was pretty weird when when I seen Aloy in this game. She looks weird. She doesn't look she like her face didn't look slim. Like if you see like if you buy like if you had a physical copy of Horizon Zero Dawn and you see the disc, you see Aloy with a slimmer face and everything else. And I think what they did with when they were changing her and when they done the update for the game for that game, I actually had the collection condition too, where it comes with the Frozen Land story, DLC story. And they didn't done that with that one, but when the second one came out, that's when they changed Aloyd's face and appearance in that game too. And they were doing that during the time when that game was coming out. Um, and I find it weird. Same what they did with Peter Parker's face. To why they changed it to something like Tom Holland, and why can't they just keep it the same as like what you had before from when Spider-Man Marvel came out? Like, why you have to change his appearance and kind of like make us people have a fucking Mandela effect over it? It's weird. It's like what they did with Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn in the first one. They changed her appearance right off the bat when the second one was coming out, and I noticed it. And I seen pictures, like I even have the case itself. She doesn't look the same as what she did in the, like she didn't look the same as what I know her when I played her through her, through her saga, through her story. It was like I'm looking at a totally different Aloy appearance. Like it's something with them like trying to make women ugly. They try to make women look more unattractive. Like, women in general are beautiful. Women are beautiful in general. Same with Peter Parker's face, like how they changed it in that one, and I did got a bit weird off that too. Like I did felt weird about that. Why did they did that for? Like that was a cool design of Peter Parker. I did like it. Yeah, like it was nothing wrong with that design in the first place. Like I don't understand why they have to change it to this Tom Holland looking thing. That's what a lot of people said about it back in the days. It looks a bit like Tom Holland. But are they just trying to copy Disney? Like trying to copy from Tom Holland. Like I just don't get it. It's like they're doing like some twisted Mandela effect on us. Like, it's just not that too. I'm just done with all their story. Like, they're not making any good story games lately. They haven't. Like, I didn't even brought what's it called again? I didn't even brought The Last of Us Part 2. It was because of one reason only. How they killed off Joel in it. How Neil Druckmann lied to the public. Saying, like, "Oh, you're gonna play as Ellie and Joel through the whole damn game." I said so many times in my videos. Let me see how much time I got left. Not enough time. Wait, let me see. Like, let me keep on talking. I get another jet. Shall we? Like, practically, Neil Druckmann basically and practically lied to us and saying you're gonna play as Joel and Ellie through this whole fucking game and this experience of it. But really, you didn't. You played as Ellie, and not just that too. You play as this Abby Zilla chick, and that's the chick who killed Joel. Why do I want to play a game that killed one of my favorite damn characters, who I played? You don't believe how many times I played fucking Last of Us, the first one. I got it first when it first came out on the PS3, and I played that fucking game to death. Like, I think I probably nearly finished it 100%. It was a great game, man. It was a great game, but I don't want nothing to do with the franchise. I don't really want nothing to do with Naughty Dog. You know, I don't want nothing to do with them. Like, I don't want nothing to do with that company no more. How Neil Druckmann lied. Practically, when you do look at it, it's like false advertisement. You know, it's false fucking advertisement. And not just that too, how their company went so far to even, you know, get people, you know, how they went so far to remove people's YouTube account. Because they were telling a story about when the game was leaked. And you know, the thing is, right, God bless to that leaker, because I was, you know, lied to Neil Druckmann, saying you're going to play as Ellie and Joel through their adventure and everything else, through the post-apocalyptic of America. I bless the leaker. I do. I bless that leaker. Like, I don't give two shits if he's a criminal or not. Like, he practically told me the truth about the game itself, like how it is and everything else. You get to play as this, like, person you don't really want to play as, because yeah, like, people got pissed off, and it was this Asian dude. He was streaming it, and it was round about the time when Joel died in the second one. He just fucking went bonkers and just snapped his fucking copy and everything else. And good on him, you know, because, like, bad story and a bad choice to kill off a very beloved character in the game itself too. Like, shame on Naughty Dog for lying about to us and practically giving us false advertisement about the game itself, because what they did, man, was actually false advertisement. It truly is. It's, you know, practically fraud in a way. Like, they're saying, oh, you get to play as Ellie and Joel for the whole game, but you don't. Joel gets killed off, you know, in the beginning part of the game, and you're stuck with playing with Ellie and this chick you don't really want to play as, because the chick who's the woman who you play as is the person who killed one of the most beloved characters in the first game. It's wrong. And shame on Neil Druckmann. Shame on him. Like, what he did was pretty fucking bad. Like lying to fans like me of the game. And practically, I went so far to even snap my remastered copy, you know, of the PS4 game. And like, screw you, I don't want nothing to do with this franchise no more because you lied, blatantly lied to my fucking face. And I don't want nothing to do with Naughty Dog no more because they became more political now. And I don't want nothing to do what they are part of now. Like, I don't want nothing to do with it. Like, I don't want no part of what they're, you know, of their games and everything no more. I don't want nothing to do with it no more. And especially the creators of God of War, like the new God of War, like for the PS4 and the PS5, like I don't want nothing to do with them too. I'm thinking of selling my copy, or trading it in for a new game. Because I'm trading a lot of my games too, like I don't really want no more. Like I don't want Horizon Forbidden West no more. I already got that game. And yeah, like I don't want nothing to do with that too. I don't want nothing to do with Spider-Man no more. I don't want nothing to do with all these shitty games no more. I don't really want nothing to do with them no more. I don't want nothing to do with Sony brand games no more. Like, you know, the ones that are only exclusive to PlayStation. I don't want nothing to do with them no more. I'm done with PlayStation and I'm done paying their subscription now. And that's why I'm joining, you know, more or less to protest what is happening with PlayStation. I'm joining that bit of protest because I'm done with the shit what, you know, making, like, basically forcing their shit down our throats more or less. Like, I don't really care. Yeah, I just, oh man, I'm so angry. I can't say anything wrong or whatever. I just don't want to hear woke political stuff, man. Like PlayStation, like, hear me out and hear the people out. Like, we don't want to, we don't want to know about political stuff and everything else. We don't want that in our stories and our video games. Like gamers don't really care about that stuff. I don't. I don't know who's like, I don't know. Like, I just don't want to be forced. Like, I don't want this stuff being forced down my throat. Like, it was back in the days, Sony was making games, it mattered. Like, matter. Like, they were making games, they were cool. Like, you can come back home and kick back on your recliner and, you know, and just relax. It's not like that no more. And I find it pretty shameful how PlayStation is becoming, and I don't like their laws and their systems now too, with their policies in their company no more. Like, I don't like it. I don't like their policies no more. I don't. It's just getting really ridiculous. It's like PlayStation has become more of a changed company, and not just that too. I do remember something. It was one famous person who was calling out Sony back in the days. Well, he's not with us no more, and he was one of the greatest pop stars of all time, Michael Jackson. He was especially calling out Sony for being corrupt. And this goes way back. Sony was always being corrupt. You know, they always have been. you know, like, I know about the stories about Michael Jackson with Sony and everything else. I don't really want to get into it. It's very hard to explain to get into it. Like, my head's not in that frame of mind. But I know what happened to Michael Jackson and Sony, like, and how, you know, Sony was practically fucking over Michael Jackson all the time and everything else. So, like, Michael Jackson was calling out Sony for being fucked up and corrupt back in the days. And, yeah, like, Sony has always been corrupt. Like, they've been corrupt for a long time. Like the company itself, you know, it's just weird. You know, like, I think Sony needs to really, you know, get this, like, political shit out of their ass, right? They need to get this political crap out of their asses, right? They need to pull it out real hard, right? Because, like, if they're going to keep going on with all this stuff, right, with all their games and their subscription, but I really want to talk about the subscription. I remember back in the days, right, back in the PS3 era days, I used to play online games for free. And I don't know why you have to do that no more. I don't know why you can't do that no more. Since this subscription came around the corner, and you have to pay just to play online. Like, back in the days, I was playing like GTA 4 and RDR online. I mean, Red Dead Redemption 1 online for free without the subscription. They never had that. They never had the subscription back then. They never had it back then when I was playing online for the very first time. And now, since this subscription came around the corner, you can't even play like you know, normal online games. Well, I know you can actually. I think you can actually play the free games. What you get from PlayStation, like the free online games, what you get from PlayStation. And I think you can actually play them for free without using the subscription. But you have to pay to use other games. I don't understand that shit. Like, you already got the online, like, you know, you already got the internet hooked up on your PlayStation and everything else. You already created an account and everything else. And you got, like, a lot of online games you really want to play, like Battlefield and all them kinds of games and everything else. And Call of Duty. And you can't even fucking play the games. You can't even play the online version of the games. And the reason why, you have to pay for the subscription. The fee to play that online game. I don't get that. I don't really get that. I don't get that at all. I think that's pretty corrupt when PlayStation did that. You know, you have to pay for a subscription fee to actually play other online games. Like, I don't understand it. But I do understand you can actually play the free online games, what you get, like Destiny, like, and especially all them anime games too, and War Thunder, World of Tanks, War Thunder, War of Tanks, World of Warships, yeah, that game too. Um, you can pay you can play them freely online, but you can't play other big brand games like online no more. You can't even play like Battlefront, Battlefront, Call of Duty, Red Dead Redemption 2 online, um, GTA online, and everything else. Like you have to pay a subscription because when you when you go, like, I tried it the other day, right? I tried to play a game, like an online game like GTA the other day. Um, and it's a war, like a barrier, and you can't play the online game because you have to pay for that subscription. And when you do look at it, right, when you do look at it, all these gaming companies are just fucking corrupting themselves. All of them. Like, like it's too my like I'm just saying it for my knowledge is what I'm seeing with the subscription, right? Are you paying them too just to play on their online games? Like, I don't understand it. What I do understand, back in the days, right, you didn't even have to use a subscription to play PlayStation games. Like to play the PlayStation online games back in them days. You didn't even have to have a subscription. Like, you didn't even have to use a subscription to play like Red Dead Redemption 1, like GTA, Call of Duty. I never played Call of Duty online, but yeah, I don't know about Battlefield. I think Battlefield was on PS3. Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, and all them online games. Like, sorry about that. Um, you didn't even have to pay for a subscription back in them days. You didn't even have to. It was not a war stopping you to play their games, like their online games. And I think now, like, I do have a PS3, and I did actually create an account on my PS3, and I just found out the online games on there are still for free, but the internet is a bit choppy on it. Like, it's a bit glitchy. Like when I was playing like Red Dead Redemption online for the very first time in years, it was for free. I didn't even have to pay for a subscription on my PS3 console. I have the PS3 Slim, and I didn't even have to pay for nothing. And that was great. It seems like, I don't know what's going on with that. I think I don't really know what's going on with that, but it's good. It's good. It's good news to my ear what I've seen, and it's good news what I see with my eyes, because you don't even have to pay a PlayStation subscription on the PlayStation 3 to play online games. And I was playing like GTA 4 for free without using the subscription. Um, I'm just like, I don't understand why you have to pay for subscriptions just to play online games. They never used to do it on the PS3, but now they're doing it for the PS4 and the PS5 now. And for you to actually play their online games, like all these major company games, you have to pay for the subscription fee from PlayStation. And I find it pretty corrupt in a way. And I find this subscription shit is not for me no more. And I need to keep some money on my wallet now, because with all the inflations and everything else, and what everything is going on now. I'm done. I'm done paying their subscription fee. I'm done with it. They're not getting any money from me no more. And if they start doing things right again, like, start to make good stories with their video games and stop making their games, like, start making great games again, stop making them political and everything else. Like, start waking the fuck up, more or less, you know, start making good stories without political nonsense in it, you know? It's just like, it needs to stop. And the corruption of PlayStation needs to stop. It really does. It really fucking does. Um, I'm just done paying them now. I'm practically trading in my Horizon Zero Dawn game, my Horizon Forbidden West 2 game, Spider-Man, God of War from the PS4, because I don't want nothing to do with them brands no more. Like, I don't want nothing to do with them. Like, I'm done with it. I'm done. I'm done with Sony brands, like all these Sony game company brands. Like, I'm done with them too, because they're not making any good stories. All they're making is political games and everything else. All I want to do is just relax and play a fucking video game. And I want to play a good story game. I just want this nonsense to stop. And I'm not gonna keep paying use PlayStation to use people to keep forcing their political agenda upon our throats. I'm done, and I think a lot of other people are done. That's why a lot of people are not paying for your subscription no more. And what's been going on with Helldivers and everything else. For me, it's multiple things. Because I'm done with your company being really, really shady and everything else. I used to remember back in the days when I used to contact you guys on PlayStation support. Like, yous were pretty damn nice back then, but now you got workers who work on the customer support line. They are just rude, arrogant. They I've been treated like crap by them a lot of times and everything else. I think you need good workers in the customer support line and everything else. I'll be still playing my PlayStation console because I don't have anything else to play with, and I'm practically veering away from online games for good because I'm done with online in a way. Like I told my friend Whiskey Willie, yeah, what I told him the other day, like, I'm practically done now. Like, I'm pretty peace now. Like, I don't want nothing to do with online games no more and everything else. It's too much drama. The whole online world it's a lot of drama involved in it. Like, I don't want nothing to do with it no more. I rather talk to my friends if they do have a PlayStation account and practically talk to them on phone chat, and that's it. Like my friend Gojira, who I know on YouTube and Facebook, and we talk about Godzilla stuff and everything else. Yeah, I talked to him twice on there, and that's pretty damn cool. And it's cool. I'm practically veering away from online for good because I'm done with PlayStation's political garbage, and I'm done with their shifty shit what they're doing, and I'm done with what they are doing to people, and it's fucking sad, and it's bar fucking baric. And use people like you, PlayStation, should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed. Well, this is the end of my video, and I hope people around the world are having a good day, and I hope you all having a good one. See it. Bye, and God bless.